Hello and welcome or welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles. Today I'm doing my June TBR. June is going to be a very busy month because wedding season kicks off. I have a conference to attend. It's the end of the year, so commencement, and I have a trip with some friends. All things that I'm looking forward to, but for that reason I am going to cut down on the amount of books that I'm reading from my physical TBR. I think I narrowed it down to 4. It should be fine. It's not really less books total, but a lot of the books are shorter, so hopefully that makes a difference. Starting with my monthly buddy read with Robin, we are going to be reading Cameron Battle. This is the first book in, I believe, a middle grade fantasy series, and I don't really know much more than that. I'm hoping that we enjoy this more than Tristan Strong. We read the first, well, we tried to read that first book last year and we both DNF'd it, so hopefully this one goes better. Another buddy read this month, I will be reading The Blood Gift with Alana from The Awkward Book Nerd. She and I both really enjoyed the blood trials and it ended on a huge cliffhanger, so I'm really excited to see what happens next. In that first book, we're following Ikenna shortly after her grandfather has passed away, and she is essentially in a military academy and getting ready to graduate. However, she finds out that her grandfather died under some mysterious circumstances, so she's trying to get to the bottom of it and figure out who was behind it. I really enjoyed that book. I think I gave it a 4.5, and I've heard mixed things about the next book, but we'll see how it goes. And my last buddy read for this month will be Mirrored Heavens by Rebecca Roanhorse. This is the final book in the Between Earth and Sky trilogy. So this follows Black Sun and Fevered Star. If you've read Black Sun, you know how amazing it is. If you haven't, we're essentially following a god reincarnated who has come to wreak havoc on the world. We also have some other side characters that he crosses paths with, and it's very intense, very intriguing, and even though I hated Fevered Star, it ended on a huge cliffhanger and we're set up for a really big finale, so I'm hoping that it delivers on that. I will be buddy reading this with Dasha from Mythic Pages. Both of us really loved Black Sun. She's actually the reason that I read it in the first place, and so I'm really hoping that this ending is worth it. So I lied, I still have 5 books from my TBR. We'll see how that goes. But the first one is Slay. This was a gift for my birthday from one of my friends, and I believe it's I don't know if it's middle grade or YA. I want to say middle grade, but I'm not sure if that's actually accurate. There's so much noise. I don't really know much about this book, to be totally honest, but I do think I'm gonna like it. I've heard really good things about this and about this author, so hopefully I like it. Next, I will be reading Mickey Chambers Shakes It Up. This was a book that was sent to me from Harlequin Trade Publishing. I'm a part of their influencer program. I don't know much about what this is about, but I like the cover. Apparently it is opposites attract. She is a bartender and that's how she meets this guy. It might be Grumpy Sunshine as well. I'll let you know in my wrap up, I don't know. Then we have The Obsession. I believe this is YA, and it says boy meets girl, boy stalks girl, girl gets revenge. I think Robin sent this to me. Sounds like something that she and I would buy for each other, so I'm excited to see how this goes. Hopefully it's good, because I haven't heard much about it. I've heard about this author, but I don't know if it was this book specifically that I heard about, so I'm looking forward to it. Then I have Handle with Care. This is one of the many books that I have by Jodi Picoult that I have not read yet, but I've had for a very long time. I will most likely listen to this on audio. From taking a glance, it looks like this might have something to do with a sick child, so I would advise against that if that's not something that you want to read. But I like Jodi Picoult. She does a lot of research when she writes her books and typically looks at issues that are pretty difficult or taboo or that people don't always want to talk about from all angles before coming to a conclusion. She also is great at plot twists and reveals, so I'm hoping that I enjoy this one somewhat. The last book that I tried to read from her a few months ago, I actually DNF'd, and that was the first time I DNF'd anything by her, so hopefully that doesn't happen again. And lastly, I will be rereading The Final Strife because we are a couple months out from the ending fire, so I'm really excited about that last book. I had an arc of the battle drum. I haven't seen arcs of the ending fire yet, but I'm hoping that they go up and that maybe I can get one. That would be really nice. But if not, I am still very excited. I did annotate this first book when I read it the first time, and I'm really excited to continue. In this first book, we are following 3 characters who are all a part of different castes in this kingdom. So we have an Ember who has red blood and sort of almost like nobility. They're at the top of the totem pole. Then you have Dustings who have blue blood and they're sort of middle class. And then you have Ghostings who have clear blood and are essentially servants. They have their tongues cut out and their hands amputated from birth, and they are treated very poorly and have been for centuries. And so we have members of the different casts that come across each other in various ways, and they are learning some things about the empire that the people in power don't want them to know. I feel like this book gets a lot of mixed ratings, but I really enjoyed it. I think I rated it 4.5. I rated the battle drum 4 stars, and I'm really hoping that the ending fire is at least a 4. I think it's going to be a really good finale, especially where we ended in the battle drum, so I'm really excited to finish this trilogy. So that is everything that I'm planning to read in June. Let me know if you have read any of these or if they are on your TBR. If you are also reading the Ending Fire trilogy, if you're excited for the last book, let me know. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.